Hey, it's Dr. Amanda from Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com. We're going to talk a little bit more about accepting transfer cases, specifically from Invisalign, but insert any aligner company, that you might be part of into this workflow. So I'm just going to kind of grab the screenshot. This is a screenshot from Clincheck. If you are with Invisalign technology or Invisalign, if you don't appreciate that I grabbed a screenshot, there's nothing HIPAA compliant here. You're more than welcome to contact me to ask me to take this video down. You do not need to send me any letters from your attorneys. All right. Anyway, so let's get into the meat of this because a lot of you are making some big mistakes with your transfers and how you deal with it. So this is how we deal with it. And I realize it's not the super smooth, but this is just how I've learned over the last 20 years to not misstep and not screw up. First of all, anytime someone comes to you and says, hey, I want to transfer providers for Invisalign, I see that you're an Invisalign provider. Of course, you always want to ask why, right? There's three major reasons, and you need to know the true reason, okay? Like to the point where I'm going to demand to know the truth. I'm going to find out anyway, so you might as well tell me. Number one, they moved. I always say, well, it's going to be more expensive for you to do treatment here with us. It's never A plus B equals C. It's always going to be more. It's going to probably be a lot cheaper for you to just work with your doctor, fly back once or twice and finish up the case, especially if they're towards the end, if they're looking pretty good. And it's always good to know the truth. I mean, obviously, if they move from one continent to another continent, that's a different story. But if they're just moving, from San Francisco to LA or San Francisco to Denver, it's going to be cheaper for them. Just stay with their doctor because you can do all your visits with Invisalign remotely now through Invisalign Virtual. I've seen complete cases done remotely, just come in for the attachments at the beginning and then they just get the attachments off at the regular dentist at the end. It's like one visit. So I don't see why this is why you really even need to transfer it, to be honest. So first of all, I'm going to mention that. And just kind of see what they say. They may not even know about Invisalign Virtual. So let's start there and see if they're interested in that. I'm going to try to dissuade them from transferring because it never works out well. Okay, so that's first reason they moved. We can settle that with the whole Invisalign Virtual thing, and you can always say, hey, you can come to me at the end. I can take the attachments off and give retainers. That's going to be a much smaller fee, than the whole transfer. Okay, so let's put that aside. Second reason is that they're dissatisfied. They're not getting the outcome they want. You got to kind of ask about that. How are things going? Did you ever see the Clin Check? Is it moving predictably? That's where I actually want to see the Clin Check. And there's ways that the old dentist can export the Clin Check. Now, in order to get the Clin Check exported, they're going to have to sign a release. So you're going to ask them to sign a release because we're going to actually not only want to see the Clin Check to see if it looks like garbage or not. If it looks like a really nice Clin Check, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable. Of course, I'm going to make my own anyways, but if it's something like wackadoodle and they're moving things in the wrong direction, I don't know that I want to touch this case, or even get mixed up and tangled into something that might be a liability. So at this step, we're going to have them sign the release. We're going to say, hey, we're going to contact your dentist and talk to them a little bit about the treatment, how things went. If they look uncomfortable about this is a red flag. Okay. This usually means that the patient did not pay for things. They might say, oh, my dentist died. I've heard this 100 times, and the dentist's not dead. It happens more often than not that the patient stops paying or there's issues with financials or something, and they just stop giving you more aligners, and they're like, oh, I need to go find another provider. Well, little do they know is that dentist number one has to sign the release as well as the patient, as well as you. There's three people that have to sign this whole trifecta, this trilogy, in order to have a transfer. So dentist number one has to release it. Now, that's not cool if you hold hostage due to payment, but I can't get involved in that. That's really up to the patient. So it may not even be possible to take a transfer case. And in that case, it's a brand new case, a brand new fee, and a full fee. So let's get this drama sorted out at this step. If they look comfortable, yeah, sure, give Dr. So-and-so a call. I'll let them know that you're calling, sign the release. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better. That's step two. Yeah. And actually, I kind of bundled step 2 and step 3 together because I said that number one major issue is that they moved. We can solve that. That's really not a big deal. Number 2 is that they didn't pay. And number 3 is that there's a wackadoodle treatment plan that's not predictable. So those are the 3 things. Find out the truth. Get the release signed. Give the doctor a call. Now, I don't want to talk to the staff. I want to talk to the doctor. I also do want to know from the staff, once they've signed the release, when was the last appointment? How many appointments have they been? How much did they pay? Et cetera, et cetera. And then I'm going to ask for a screenshot from the staff. And this is the important part. This is the screenshot that I want to see. And up here is the patient's name. But I didn't put it in this. Comprehensive package. I do not, and I repeat, I do not take any transfers that are not comprehensive. No light, no moderate, no express, no go, no assist. I'm going to say it one more time. Nothing but comprehensive. And now there's comprehensive 3 and 5. I'm assuming it's going to say 3 if it's 3 here. 3 is a maybe. 5's, obviously comprehensive. The other thing I want to see is that the treatment expiration date, it better be far in the future. If it's next year, no, I'm not taking it. Nope. It needs to be at least 2 years from now. It's a 5-year plan. If this was like ages ago and I have a very small window to get this done, this is going to turn into a nightmare. She got to go back to her old dentist or pay for a brand new case because I'm not messing with that. So comprehensive and far away treatment expiration date, no light, no moderate, no go, no assist, no express. Okay. None of those. Why? Because they either come with no refinements or limited refinements. You don't know if they're used. Now you're under the knife, you're under the gun to try to finish it with all these limitations. I don't even know this patient. I don't even know if it's possible. I don't want that stress. It's going to possibly end up costing me more. Okay, so let's say it's a one-off and everything went peachy in terms of what they've told you before. The patient really did move. They moved from San Francisco to New York. It is very expensive to go back and forth between San Francisco and New York, and their doctor isn't into Invisalign virtual. I don't really understand that. They really, really, really want to transfer. Okay, that makes sense. You've called the doctor. Doctor is cool. Doctor's explained she's a good patient. Making payments regularly, blah, 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 showing up for her appointments. This is stuff I want to know. It's a comprehensive case. Expiration date is 3 years from now. Okay, that sounds reasonable. At that point, I'm going to go ahead, once I have that preliminary information, I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to I'll give the patient the paperwork to go ahead and get the transfer process started. She's responsible for getting it from her doctor. And you know what? Take a step back. I don't want the paperwork done yet because I want to make sure that she's going to be okay with my plan and my pricing first. So now what I'm going to do, so scratch that, I'm going to make a mock-up patient in my Invisalign portal. So she hasn't transferred yet, so it's not going to not recognize her. I'm going to go ahead and take a scan at this point. Maybe I'll take a little deposit, it's refundable. Maybe I won't. That's up to you. I'm going to take a scan, take photos. I'm going to submit the case like a brand new case, and I'm going to work up the case to ideal, the way that I would do it, x-rays, everything. If she wants to get copies of her x-rays from her dentist and bring them to you, that's fine too, but they need to be recent. So if they're not within the last 6 months, then we're taking new ones anyways. Like I said, you can charge her or not charge her. It's up to you. We usually do not, just because it gets messy and it's really not costing me anything, just my time. It's an act of good faith. So we're going to go ahead and work up the patient. I'm going to make an ideal treatment plan as if it was a new case. Look, it's going to be 55 aligners with some IPR, blah, blah, blah. Here's our options. This will take about a year, etc. And if she likes my treatment plan, then we're good. And I'm going to say, well, it looks like we will not have a lab fee because you were comprehensive and your expiration date is far out. So that saves me $1,800. My normal price is $5,500. I'm sorry that your insurance payments already went to Dr. Whoever. That's up to you to try to get some of them back or part of them back, or you can work with your insurance company. We're not involved in that at all. We're going to be cash, so because you've already used your insurance. Transferring insurance from one provider to another is a nightmare. Don't even count on that. That's a no. That's their problem. Okay. Don't promise that. Don't do it. So if my price was $5,500 less $1,800, we still have initial records. We still have final records. We still have retainers. We still have treatment in between. The only thing we do not have is that lab fee. So do the math, 5,500 minus 1,800, and so that's going to be what? Today my math is bad today. Did I say 3,700? Did I get that right? Something like that. Sorry. Good morning. Okay. So brain isn't working yet. This early coffee hasn't kicked in. $3,700 is going to be my fee. That's going to be all inclusive, assuming we are transferring this case and assuming it gets transferred over, So we're just going to kind of write it down. They're going to say, sign, that's okay, and then we'll start the transfer process. Okay. Then at that point, they're going to go ahead and that's their job to get it transferred over. Once it lands in my account, we're going to go ahead and do a refinement. We're going to archive the mock-up case. You can write, when you archive it, you can write, please duplicate this case, mechanics, et cetera, et cetera. You might have to call Invisalign to get sorted out because you're already going to have that scan paired with that plan. So it's not going to let you necessarily use it for a refinement scan, but it's really easy to sort out. You just give them a call and basically just duplicate that plan as a refinement on the case that was now transferred and archived. The other one, bing, bang, boom, you're good to go. You still got paid the same. You didn't have to pay a lab fee, and we're all good. And that's how you do it. All right. Thanks so much.